Joseph Q here, and I'm back at it. Today I'm bacon wrapping, cheese stuffing a meatloaf. Super easy to do, and I want to show you how. So sit down, hang tight, we're cooking something good today. First is to start our meatloaf. We're gonna have to use some meatloaf mix. What meatloaf mix is, as you notice, is some ground beef, pork, and veal. So yeah, the veal and the pork here add a little bit of moisture that the beef itself can't add without that grease, if that makes sense. So that's why I love using the meatloaf mix. All right, what you want to do next here is you want to chop up a couple cloves of garlic. So let's go ahead and do that. So now we're going to do a little something unique here with this onion. Rather than giving it a normal dice, we're going to use this grater here. We're going to finely grate this onion into the pot here. This way it'll evenly distribute throughout the entire meatloaf. And then you won't have any hard chunks of just raw onion that you'll be chomping down on. This actually gives a better texture, I think, to the meatloaf itself. Because as you'll notice, this will turn into like a paste. Let's take a look here. Now, from time to time, you're going to see some large chunks in there. Just discard those. We really just want the paste look that you see here. Now to this paste, you want to add 1 egg. Also, some milk, about 2 tablespoons worth. Now, of course, our favorite part, the Joseph Q Craft Rubs Dom's Magic Dust all-purpose seasoning. Got to add that to the mix as well. Now from the garden, I've got a little fresh parsley. We'll give that a fine dice up too. Now to this, we're going to add some Japanese Panko breadcrumbs, and then we're also going to dump in our meat that you saw before. We're going to keep adding this until we get a pretty good pasty consistency. You know, it could be more or less. I don't want to say it's going to be a full cup or 2 cups. You really got to kind of feel this out. And you'll notice as you're working it with your hands there that it gets less tacky, and it gets to a point where you can mold it really nicely. That's when you know you've done it right. Alright, we got our meatloaf nice and tightly formed here, as you can notice from the consistency. Now what I did is I broke off a large clump as well from the total loaf. and we're going to reserve this for the cap. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to stuff this with some cheese. So to do that, we're going to make a little bit of a well in here. And just get my fingers in there and just start pushing down up against the sides as well. And you want to make sure you form it on the caps too, because on the ends here we don't want the cheese to kind of bust out. So you can see we got a nice deep well now, and we can fill this with our cheese. I got a couple different types of cheese here today. We got some cheddar blocks, and we got some mozzarella. The mozzarella is a nice soft cheese that'll give it a nice stringy consistency as you're pulling it apart. And then the cheddar, well, who doesn't love cheddar? Put 2 blocks in there like that. And we take the rest of this mousse, we put it right on top. Perfect. Now we're going to take our cap. This is our reserved meat that I'm making a cap out of. Just put that right there on top. Seal it up around the edges. Now, I did mention bacon wrapping, didn't I? So we got us here some little bit of pre-cooked bacon. What I did is I cooked it enough so that it's still floppy, but I've rendered out some of the fat. This is going to provide a better crust to the meatloaf itself, and you won't have any chewy, non-bite through pieces of bacon on your exterior. So we're going to take these ends, cut one piece in half, put it at that end, put the other at this end. Then we start laying our pieces of bacon across. And what you do is you tuck the rest of it underneath. Now we're going to pop a probe in. Sprinkle a little more Dom's dust. Let's get this on the fire. As we're sitting at about 157 degrees now, the pit, as you can see, is around. Thanks for checking out the video, everyone. As always, the recipe is down below in the description with exact instructions and ingredients. If you liked what you saw, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit that comment, and let us know how you feel. Thanks again from Joseph Q Barbecue.